The National Union of Ghana Students, NUGS, on Thursday presented a petition to Parliament demanding that the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GETFund, is uncapped due to the danger it is posing to the education sector.
So some of our challenges that have come up with infrastructure, with high rise in fees, lack of funds for student loan, and every day you hear the students of this country complaining about non-payment from student loan, comes from the fact that the necessary funds that's supposed to be released from GETFund to some of these agencies is not going. Standing before this house, we are aware that the formula has been presented to you for discussion, or will be presented to you for discussion. Honorable Chair and your committee, you stand at a crossroad where the fate of our young students lies in your hands. First thing, reject the formula without any equivocation. We can only have a comfortable discussion about the future of education when the funds that is meant for education is guaranteed by this house. And that is why this house was put up to protect Ghanaians. Our call is simple. One, reject the 2023 proposed formula for disbursing GETFund. Move strictly to, in collaboration with the Finance Committee, initiate steps to immediately uncap GETFund. And that is where the crux of the matter is, Mr. Chairman.
GETFund is the only dedicated fund that has been earmarked for the development of education in our country. Capping it to the extent of giving it about 17.5% in recent act, I think it's not the right thing. Education is expensive, very, very expensive. But if you try vices and ignorance of the youth, in later years, it will cost you harmfully and more than if you had used the money to educate your youth. We will do everything possible within our means to make sure that GETFund and earmarked fund like GETFund is used for the education of our country.
A group of minority political parties calling itself the Third Force Alliance also addressed the media on Thursday, kicking against the newly proposed constitutional instrument by the Electoral Commission seeking to use the Ghana card as the source document for registration onto the voters' register for the upcoming polls.
The decision by the EC to abandon the registration of voters at polling stations and electoral area levels for registration at district levels would hugely disenfranchise a greater majority of prospective voters considering the geographical outlook of the districts across the country. This arrangement would require people to travel long distances in order to access the registration centers at the districts. Apart from inconveniencing prospective voters, this will further place a financial burden on the very Ghanaians whose economic and financial circumstances have been worsened by the incompetent, insensitive, and clueless economic management approach of the Akufo-Addo government.
Speaking to journalists in Parliament, the minority demanded a probe of Galamsey allegations leveled against some bigwigs of the ruling government by the former Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Frimpong Boateng.
We have reports of key government officials being key Galamsey operators and involved in destroying land at forest reserves in much part of this country. We wish to call on the government on this call to investigate the allegations made by the former Minister of Environment. It is also our expectation that government must desist from joining huge illegal migrants and the many unpatriotic Ghanaians from mining illegally on our lands.
Some youth of Elembele presented an amount of 50,000 Ghana cedis to the Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Amakofibua, who is also the Member of Parliament for Elembele, to assist him in the payment of his filing fees for the upcoming primaries in the National Democratic Congress, NDC.
When I knew of some of them, they were young students. But today they are all big professionals in the system. And I feel very, very, very encouraged to be able to work as their representative and to see a day where all of them are working in as a group. They will come to me that they are paying my 40,000 nomination fee plus filing fee. I mean, it says volumes about what they think of me and what we've been doing. So I feel very encouraged.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayikwe Okine for Citi News.